What is up, my people? Welcome back to the channel. Just a guy on my lunch break, aka Corey. Let's do the damn thing again. This is a channel where I spend a lot of time giving the platform back to the people. You are the people. I have a little motto on here: for the people, by the people. I feel like this channel should be a platform where everyone can be heard in a respectful way. There are community guidelines, and I, as the owner of this channel, take pride in enforcing those community guidelines, which means if you get on here and you're bullying someone, listen, all opinions are welcome, okay? But if your opinion is 4 or 5 sentences of you sounding like a complete jackass, then guess what? That particular opinion will not be welcome here. It's all in how you formulate your opinion, okay? Everybody doesn't feel the same way about this stuff. We all know that. People have different thoughts, different theories on Kratom use. Some people are completely against it. Some people love to take it and they don't give a shit how much they take it. There's no point in them even moderating it. And then there's people that feel like, hey, as long as you can use it responsibly and you're happy with where you're at with Kratom, I'm all good with it. So you get, you know, a full array within what people consider acceptable as far as Kratom and all things surrounding Kratom. Okay, so that with that brings multiple varying opinions. We all have to respect one another's opinions on here. Opinions are just like, what? That's right, assholes. Everybody has one. And if you don't have one, I don't know how you shit. But anyway, that's kind of beside the point. So if you've not subscribed to the channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. That is your payment. This is a free service. It doesn't cost you anything other than just that 2 seconds to hit that subscribe button. I would definitely appreciate it because I spend a decent amount of time on this channel and responding to people, and you know, I respond within the comments, and then I take it even a step further. I print out some comments more times than not, and I print out some comments, questions that people have, and then I will address those in my video. And I think people get a lot out of that, you know, just being heard. Because let's be honest, when you have substance abuse issues, or if you consider yourself an addict of some substance, a lot of times being heard is difficult, right? We've talked about that. You know, you got family members who, well, some of them might be abusers of substances, but then you have some family members that they don't abuse substances. They've never been addicted to anything. And you have good friends that you consider good friends, but they've never been addicted to anything. And you can talk to your blue in the face with those people, and unless there's some sort of drug abuse therapist or some sort of drug dependency counselor, they're probably gonna look at you like, okay, well, I'm sorry, but I don't really know what to tell you. You'll probably get a lot of the blank stare sort of thing where they're trying to be fashionably sensitive because they understand conceptually that drug addiction is a tough thing to deal with and experience, or substance abuse, whatever you want to call it. But if they themselves have never been addicted, there's not but so many things that they can tell you. And then the other people that are in your life, you know, because a lot of times as an addict or a drug user, you surround yourself with what? Other drug users, right? Funny how that happens, right? You tend to gravitate towards your like kind. You know, people who do things that are similar to what you do, you gravitate towards those people and you attract. You know, you're like a freaking magnet, attracting every, you know, other person that uses drugs. And it's just, that's the way of the world. That's the way things work, you know. And then those people, they don't ever have a good answer for you. If you're struggling, or if you feel like you've gone too far with something, right? Their answer is, just hit this line of coke, bro. You'll be good. Hit this joint, dog. I mean, you'll be fine in like 10 minutes, man. What are you complaining about, bro? Oh, you're feeling sad? Oh, poor thing. You're feeling sad? Here, drink this beer, man. We'll be fine. Forget all about it in 10 minutes, bro. You know, so you have both of those spectrums, and a lot of times, you know, if you have questions, if you have concerns about your substance use, or if you're getting to the point where you're abusing something, who do you talk to? A lot of times you don't have anyone to talk to. That's where I come in. This platform, you can talk. It's a judgment-free zone, just like Planet Fitness, even though I know Planet Fitness is not always a completely judgment-free zone. I had somebody say that the last time I used that analogy. They're like, it's absolutely not judgment-free. It's not, because it's made of people, and people are naturally judgmental, right? I mean, you can go into places where, like churches, for example, that should be the most non-judgmental place on the face of the planet, but it, however, is not. And you can find people that'll judge you in there as well. And I'm not talking about God judging you. I'm talking about the people in the church judging you. So that's just something that, you know, comes natural with people. We try not to do that on here. You know, I'm not saying you're always going to get the answer you want, but I will try to make sure that you get the answer that you need. Does that make sense? All right. First comment today is from at Chris Tucker 3160. Says, I take it for work, a little energy, but I usually don't dose past 2 or 3 in the afternoon, and I've never had night withdrawals. I sleep good. Don't know if that's why. Just sharing. Yeah, man, I don't know how much you're taking when you do dose. I don't know how much you're taking, and that certainly matters, but if this is a regimen that you've always taken and you don't really take it past a certain time in the afternoon, I think that's a good thing. I think stick with that. And especially if you've not experienced any sort of nighttime withdrawals or issues, you know, if you're not taking anything past 2 or 3 in the afternoon, then obviously that's limiting the amount of Kratom that you're taking on a daily basis. Kratom is one of those things that less is always more, okay? And that's where, you know, people come on to channels like this, and that's where people get to a point with something like Kratom where they're like, you know what? It was good when I was only taking it a couple of times a day, you know, a couple of grams here or there. That was good. I was okay with that. But now look at me. Now look at me. Every hour on the hour, I'm shoving 6 grams in my mouth, and I've just worked my way up to just this massive amount. And at that point, it becomes a detriment to you, you know, and you're no longer feeling the positive effects and the positive benefits that Kratom can provide. You know, at that point, it's just like, damn, I'm tired. Damn, I'm nauseous. Damn, I can't even stay awake. Damn, my hair's falling out. Damn, it's messing up my gut. Damn, I'm constipated. You know, all these other things that are definitely not what you would consider benefits start to crop up when you exceed a certain amount and when you start to take too much. And, you know, Kratom, as you know, is one of those substances that you can build a dependence and what's called a tolerance for that substance. Meaning, the more you take it, the longer you take it, the less effective it becomes. So what 8 grams per day did for you 2 months ago, it's not affecting you in the same way as it is now. So now you're having to take twice that, by example, to get the same effect that the 8 gram. Now you're taking 16 grams to get the same effect that 8 grams gave you 2 months ago. You get what I'm saying? And that's where this channel comes in. That's kind of the main reason I started it, to let people know, look, if you do a taper, you know, you don't necessarily have to do a cold turkey situation where the withdrawals are just horrible and deplorable. Deplorable? Is that a word? That's your homework assignment. Let me know if deplorable is a word. I think deplorable is, in fact, a word. Pretty confident on that one. I would bet at least a little bit of money on that. Anyway, I make up words on here, so that's why I put it out there like that. There definitely have been times where I've made up words. I try not to, but anyway. It's that education background where I'm always trying to correct myself. I don't want to get on here and say a word that's not actually a word. And I'm also a grammar Nazi like that. At work, if I get an email from someone where I'm just like, geez, bro, can I please get a period or a comma? You know, can you please capitalize the first letter of your sentence, please? You know, because I find it hard to read people's emails like that. And I get them all the time, and I'm just like, oh, oh, oh. Oh man, it's that education background in me. But yeah, anyway, what the hell was I saying? I was saying something. Oh, they get these horrible, with cold turkey, you get these horrible withdrawals, you know, including cold sweats, you know, loose bowels, you know, you get the cold chills like the chicken skin, extremely weak, extremely lethargic, extremely low mood, and let's not even talk about the night times. No, let's talk about the night times, because that's one of the biggest aspects of withdrawals that people claim really put them under, is the insomnia, the restless legs at night, not being able to keep your legs, or, you know, for me, that always manifests not just in the legs, but like just my body in general. You know, these uncontrollable, involuntary movements of where you're laying there just trying to rest, just trying to relax, and then all of a sudden you gotta, you know, stretch or like tense up a little bit or change positions, and it's just a constant recurring thing that no matter how you lay, no matter how you position yourself, you're just indefinitely uncomfortable when you're going through withdrawals. And it's just it's a bad deal, man. It's a bad thing. And so a lot of people get to that situation with Kratom, and they're like, okay, well, this isn't good anymore. This isn't good anymore. You know, this is not why I started taking Kratom, right? For this shit. And to avoid that, you just have to continue with stacking and stacking and stacking and taking more and more and more and more, because of the way it raises your tolerance, right? You build a tolerance for it. You get used to it. Your body and your body's systems get accustomed to having a certain amount of that in your system. And just like we talked about, now it takes 16 grams to give you the effect that 8 grams did 2 months ago. Well, what do you do then? That's where I come in. You know, you can taper, do a slow taper off of something like Kratom, and it's not nearly as bad as a cold turkey sort of situation. And you know, the last taper that I did was relatively uneventful. I mean, the worst part of it for me was just kind of the days where I was like, kind of had the low mood and you know, not a ton of energy and that sort of thing. But there are things that you can do to help negate that and to help offset that specific withdrawal. L-tyrosine is a good one that kind of helps the body to produce dopamine. I mean, obviously caffeine's in there, but that's another one people have problems with, so you got to be careful with the caffeine. Exercise is one of the best natural dopamine increasers that ever existed. So obviously exercise is a regular, you know, a great thing. Fruits and vegetables, with that you're getting all the good vitamins and minerals, the vitamin D's, the vitamin B's, the A's, the C's, all the things that help your body function at its optimal level, right? You're getting all those things when you eat healthy, right? And then when you exercise, you're increasing your body's ability to make the dopamine and certain other endorphins as well, right? So anyway, that's kind of where this channel comes in, and we talk a lot about that on here. I'm gonna move on. Chris Tucker says, he also says, bro, I don't know if I'm soft or not, but I feel rather like shit when I don't take it. No, you're absolutely not soft, man. And at the expense of making a golf pun, that's actually very par for the course, especially if you've been taking it for a while. It is one of those things where, again, you develop a physical dependence on it. Now, there's a mental, emotional dependence and component to this, but with something like Kratom that has an opioid-like effect with it, you also there also is a physical component, meaning you're gonna feel like shit a little bit. If you've been taking it regularly, you know, consistently, and you're not taking breaks and stuff like that, so you're taking it every day, several times a day, you know, if you do that for even a couple of months, you'll absolutely notice that if you get up one day and you don't take your normal dose of Kratom, you'll be like, damn, I don't feel that great. You know, it's almost like a mild form, depending on how much you are taking. It's different for everyone, but it's almost like a mild form of depression crossed with a mild, very mild form of flu, where you just kind of feel lower mentally and emotionally and physically, right? And it's a bad feeling. So no, I would say you're not soft at all, bro. I would say you're human. What do you know? You're human. What do you mean you're human, bro? Damn, I can't believe you deal with this. Damn, I mean, you know, we're all human, bro, and that's one of those things where more people than not have that same experience with Kratom if you've been taking it on a regular basis and built up a tolerance for it, okay? So this makes you not unlike everyone else across the world in that you're a human being. Congratulations, you're a human being. But thanks for the comment, dude. At Seeking Freedom 9020 says, the people in the Kratom community are very vicious about their drug. They can't stand people that talk bad about it because they're afraid it's going to become illegal or something, and they won't get to get their legal buzz anymore. I've noticed the Kratom community is quite vicious. When he commented that, it didn't just come out of nowhere. He commented this on my video yesterday, and I was talking about you know, about a video that I made months back called Kratom's Tipping Point Explained, and that video itself was a response to a troll or a hater, whatever you want to call it, that jumped on jumped on my channel and was just largely hating on me, you know. Campaigning against Kratom for likes is weak, bro. It's a botanical, man. It's natural. You don't get withdrawals from Kratom. I was popping pills and popping extracts for the longest time, and I didn't get any withdrawal. You know, but he wasn't just expressing an opinion. He was being an ass about it, you know. And I've had some people, I haven't had a lot of that because I find that I attract the sort of people that are intelligent, you know, compassionate, emotionally intelligent, socially intelligent people, right? My channel's full of those type of subscribers, and I think that's why people like the channel. You know, you don't get a lot of those, rah, 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 I'm a dumbass. You don't get a lot of that on here, and I think there's a reason for that. I think I attract the other side of the street, or the other side of the tracks when it comes to that sort of thing. You know, people who understand, people who know how to talk to people, and people who know how to, if you have a differing opinion, say it in a way where you're not trying to drag the other person through the coals. Well, that's stupid because this is how I feel about it. Why is it stupid? Just because you feel a certain way and their views don't align with how you feel, now their stance on it is stupid? You know, I've never understood that about people. And what's worse is people tend to be 100 times worse on the internet because they can sit there and hide behind their phone. I mean, some of this shit that I've heard people say on here is the type of thing that will get you punched in the nose for saying right in front of someone. But guess what? Damn, I'm trying to punch you in the nose and I can't. Oh, that's right. This is the internet. We're on the phone right now. No wonder I can't punch you in the nose. But people tend to get really brave about their responses regarding that. But that's where Seeking Freedom's comment came from, because we were talking about that. We were talking about the fact that some people come on and they get really funny about you talking about withdrawals. And I had someone else recently on one of the videos say that some people don't get withdrawals and that he took it for a long time. He didn't get withdrawals. I will say, I can't say for a fact there are 10 billion people on this earth. I need to get the amount of people on the earth correct, because I'm saying a different amount every time. Yesterday I said it was 12 billion. Today I'm saying 10 billion. I think it's something a little less than that. It's between, I think, 8 and 10, something like that. I need to look that up because I'm getting that shit wrong every time. According to what I'm saying, there's 2 billion less people on the earth today on Wednesday than there was on Tuesday. What the fuck happened last night where there's 2 billion less people on the planet? Basically, I just don't know exactly what the world's population is. But I can't say that there aren't some people out there that don't get withdrawals. I can't say that. All I can speak for is what I know I've experienced. And having done a channel like this for about 6 months now, I know that pretty much anyone else that I've talked to, aside from those couple of people, those couple of outliers who claim to have not had any sort of withdrawals after heavy long-term use, everyone else has pretty much been like, yeah, absolutely, that's stupid. You're going to get some sort of physical withdrawals if you take it regularly and develop a tolerance for it. Apparently, there's a few humans out there that don't line up with every other human on the face of the planet, and they don't get withdrawals. Now, I'm not attempting to poke fun at those people that have said that, because lucky you. That's all I can say is lucky you. I would give anything to be you. And if I was, I would probably, instead of just taking it every once in a while on the weekends now, I would probably be back to taking it every day again, because I love the effects of Kratom. And there are two main reasons for me that I have curtailed my use and cut down significantly my use of Kratom. One of them is the financial aspect of it, because when I was taking the extracts, I about shit my pants every time I thought about how much I was spending per week on Kratom. The second part of it, the withdrawals, because I know that if you take it every day, multiple times a day, eventually you're going to crest over that tipping point. Then you'll start having the withdrawals, and the withdrawals suck. Let's just be honest. Once it gets to that point, it's no bueno. It's not fun. You have to definitely just keep taking it at that point, because if you stop or cut back at all, your body's going to know that, and your body's going to respond to that, and it's not going to respond in a positive way either. So those are the two main reasons that I curtailed my use in the first place. But Seeking Freedom 9020, you're exactly right, bro. And he's right when he says here that they're afraid that somebody's going to cause it to become illegal if there's people out here talking about it and this. And listen, I've always said on here I don't land on either side of the fence. I want to always be clear on this channel. I'm not on here campaigning against Kratom. I don't want it to be legalized. I don't want it to be outlawed. It is currently legal in my state, and I would love to keep it that way, because at this time, I'm still using it from time to time. I may go back to using it full time. I'm just not sure yet. You know, and it's one of those things where you don't have to worry about that. If you come on my channel and you hear me talking about Kratom, and you hear me, because I think what happens is a lot of people come on and they haven't watched any of my other videos, and they're going through their feed and they happen to see this one guy who's got the word Kratom in the title. They click on it, they listen to about 5 minutes of it, and that particular video that they listen to happens to be about withdrawals and that tipping point of Kratom and getting the physical the physical properties of withdrawal once you stop taking it, and they happen to hear that part of the video, and they automatically just make the assumption that I'm just some guy out here campaigning against Kratom and trying to get Kratom outlawed, when that's absolutely not the truth. And I've said a million times on here, if you can control it, or even if you can't control it, and you're happy with where you are, and you feel like that your life is truly better with the Kratom than it is without the Kratom, and you're able to make that adult decision for yourself, who am I to come on in here and say, well, that's a dumb decision? That's a dumb decision. I've never even met you. I've never met any of you. So who am I to come on here and tell you the decision that you're making to take 12 grams of Kratom every day is wrong? I wouldn't. You know, and that's where I think my channel differs from a lot of other people. I'm not on here telling anybody they're wrong for whatever your current relationship with Kratom is. I'm here for those people who have gotten to a point where they're like, damn, this is too much. Now it's kind of become a detriment. I'm not really getting the benefits anymore. I'm receiving a lot more of the negative kickbacks. I want to change that. I want to do better. Maybe you want to come off long term. Maybe you're just wanting to taper off and kind of reset your tolerance, start from ground zero so you can, kind of reset how you take Kratom. Maybe only take it every so often. Try to be able to control when you take it. And let's just get real. Some people can't do that. Some people are not going to be able to do that. I can't be the answer I'm just a guy on my lunch break. I can't be the answer for everyone. And if you're one of those people that you can't, I really talk with my hands, don't I? Can't help it. If you're one of those people that can't control it, you may be one of those people that needs to go to like an NA or a chapter of AA or something and make an attempt to stay off of it long term, permanently. And, programs like that have shown historically to be really good with helping a lot of people to stay 100% abstinent. But on the flip side of that coin, there are people out there that have no desire to remain 100% abstinent, and they're at a point with it where their drug use and their drug abuse has not kicked them in the teeth quite enough to where they're ready to just completely put everything down for the rest of their life. That was me. I was one of those people. I am one of those people. And there are other people out there that are like that. And no matter what anybody else says or thinks, even in the professional community, as far as drug use, drug addiction, drug recovery, they're just going to use no matter what people say. And guess what? If you're that person, I got some content for you. I got some stuff for you. I got some ideas for you on how to taper and kind of, change and curtail your current use if it's gotten to that point with you. And that's kind of where I come in. At Dustin Campbell 5120 says, is it okay to just do Kratom through the week and to not use it on the weekends? Dustin, thanks for the question. I'm actually the opposite of what you're doing. Right now, I'm basically off for 4.5 days, and then I take for 2.5 days on the weekend. So I don't take any on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, all day and night. And then on Fridays, I don't take any until that evening. So like when I get off of work or something Friday afternoon, it's kind of my regimen. I'll stop by the Kratom store and buy myself like some gummies and a few things that I want to take for that weekend, like a small thing of the powder that's not going to last me long, because I don't want to just have excess of it sitting around the house, because then I'll be tempted to use it, right? So I only buy a small amount, and then I'll take some Friday night, and then I'll use it on Saturday and on Sunday, and then Monday I'm stopping again. Even doing that, and I've expressed this and been completely transparent about this, even doing that, bro, I find myself really wanting to take it again on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Now, I'm not having any physical withdrawals with that, because like I said, I'm off for 4.5 days out of every week. So it's not enough to put me over that tipping point as far as getting physical withdrawals, but there's definitely some mental and some emotional, and there's definitely just that feeling of, damn, well, I wish it was Friday afternoon again so I could just take it. And let's be honest, that's just something I've chosen, and I could probably make that go away if I were to just completely come off of it and give myself a good 2 months, 3 months, 4 months completely abstinent. And if I did that, I'm sure that the addiction that we talk about, would eventually just completely die off, and then I wouldn't have that hankering, those cravings of just, oh, well, I wish it was Friday again, I wish I could take it, I wish I could take it, I wish I could take it. I wouldn't spend my whole day on Monday wishing that I could take Kratom. And by the time Tuesday rolls around again, I'm starting to get a little better. I'm kind of like, okay, that Monday's over with, because Monday's always a little harder anyway for me, to be honest. And at that point, Tuesday, I'm kind of starting to forget about it a little bit more. It's not quite as huge of a deal, but for the better part of Monday, dude, I'm struggling on Mondays. And so I will say, if you're wanting to possibly take it for 4 days and just do Kratom during the week and then not on the weekends, I think you'll definitely, if you're a person that's been using it or abusing it, yeah, I think that's going to be tough, man. I mean, you can do it. You're a grown man. It's going to be your decision. But I think if you're going to set a goal to, well, I'm just going to take it during the week for 4 or 5 days, and then I'm not going to take it on the weekend, I think you'll definitely be at a point pretty soon where you'll probably want to just take it on the weekend again. You know, that's a lot of days on. So I don't see that making a whole lot of a difference. A couple of days off of it like that might do enough to kind of reset your tolerance and keep your tolerance low to where you didn't really have like withdrawals on the weekends. That could be possible, because, you know, you'd be giving yourself a good 48 hours or more to let whatever you have taken throughout the week kind of taper out of your system. So it could be that you wouldn't have any physical withdrawals, but I imagine your desire to want to take it on the weekend is probably going to be pretty strong if you're taking it 4 or 5 days out of the week. That's just my opinion. Like I said, I'm doing the opposite of you. I'm off of it for almost 5 days out of the week. 4.5 days out of the week, I'm completely off of it, and I'm only taking it for around 2.5 days. And I still have that feeling on Monday in the beginning of the next week where I'm just like, man, really wish I could take Kratom, you know. And so it's one of those things where I'll eventually just come off of it altogether and not take it anymore, or I'm probably just going to start taking it every day again, to be honest with you, and just giving myself like a moderate dose of it and giving myself permission to use it as though, you know, almost as though I'm a doctor prescribing myself, you know, a mood enhancer throughout the day. I'd rather do that than take Adderall. You know, I'd rather take a moderate amount of Kratom every day than get something from a doctor, to be honest with you. But, you know, who knows if all that will go away if I just stay off of it for a long period of time. But yeah, that's my response on that, dude. Thanks for the comment, Dustin. Nathan Habby Shaw 964 says, just curious, you mentioned you work for a Christian company. If one of your coworkers seen your channel, do you think they would freak out? You kind of lay it all out there, which is why I like your channel, and the honesty is admirable. Anyways, thanks for your channel. I enjoy it. Thank you so much, bro. Yeah, and you know, that's something that's come up before, and I've talked about it before. And at one point when I first started this channel, that's something that I actually got on and talked about with you guys, and was like starting to get a little nervous, you know, because I thought about that. You know, I wonder if somebody in my company happened to see it, or which I don't think they would. But you know, I decided that, hey, you know, it's my life. What I'm doing with this channel is what I do in my off time. It does not affect my job. I do a great job there. And what's more, you know, Kratom's legal. And I think a lot of times, because it's something you can get addicted to, I think sometimes people kind of forget that. Like, I could go right now and pass a drug test, you know, no matter whether I've had Kratom recently or not, because Kratom is currently legal in my state. So legally, they wouldn't have any repercussion, or they wouldn't have any recourse. You know, I'm not doing anything illegal. And, you know, of course there might be some people there that would kind of have heard of Kratom or know that it's an opiate-like substance or whatever. But the bottom line is, bro, it's legal. And I do my job, and I'm there every day. And what I talk about or do on my channel shouldn't matter to them. And I will say I've never mentioned the company's name. And I'm doing that for a reason, because, you know, I don't want to, being that I freely admitted that I've used Kratom, I don't want to make myself synonymous with this company publicly. So that's the reason that I don't do that. But, you know, it is a Christian company, but it's one of those things where you'd be surprised, man. A lot of real true Christians, they're not as judgmental as you think. And there are people there for a fact that I know for a fact drink. There are people there that are addicted to cigarettes. There are people there that chew snuff all the time. And I'm sure there's, you know, plenty of other things underlying that I don't know about as well. And I'm not going to talk about all those things, but, you know, it's a company full of people. And if somebody ever does say anything, you know, I don't want to lose my job over it. Obviously, I think that they like me enough and they respect me enough, and I do a good job enough to where I feel like if somebody did find it and if they did have a problem with it, that they talk to me first and be like, hey, you know, we feel uncomfortable with this, blah, 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 blah. Could you please take the channel down? And I would, because, you know, I got to earn an income for my family. But I feel pretty confident that they would at least afford me that opportunity. I don't think for 1 second that if they learned I had this channel, that they would just fire me. I don't believe they would at all. If I did think that, and if I felt that way about the people there, I probably wouldn't be doing this channel, and I wouldn't have continued to. But hey, man, that's a fair question. That's a good question, and it is one that I've considered, so I do appreciate you asking it. Listen, I gotta go, guys. Well, one more. Mr. Me123EE says, your channel provides really good info and you are a natural. Thanks for your work. It has helped me set a timeline for my withdrawal. You're very welcome, my friend. Thank you for that encouragement. I really appreciate when guys come on and say, yo, I love your channel. Very entertaining. It's this and that and the other. I feel very humbled by that. Because after all, I am what? You got it. Just a guy on my lunch break. All right. I gotta go. Love you guys. Like the video, comment, let me know your story. Maybe we'll talk about it on here. And also hit that subscribe button so you can know when I post a video. All right, guys, I'm out. Peace.